Hey, if you like my videos, you might also like my comedy series YouTube Blue, which premieres every Saturday on the YouTube Blue YouTube channel. Go check out the link in the description and the card above to watch the latest episode. Now on with the video. There have been tons of times that people have tried to make Doctor Who movies, and many have tried. Douglas Adams, Leonard Nimoy, Johnny Burns, Milton Subotsky, and others have all tried and failed to make Doctor Who movies. And those are all stories for another time, but today we're talking about a very unique little chapter in Doctor Who history. Today we'll talk about the time that the Doctor and their companion tried to make a Doctor Who movie. That's right, this happened. This is the story of Tom Baker and Ian Marter's cancelled Doctor Who movie, Doctor Who Meets Scratchman. So the year is 1974. Production is happening on season 12 of Doctor Who. When you're acting on a show like Doctor Who, things can get hectic, but what happens when you're not filming? Well, when Tom Baker, the actor who played the 4th Doctor, and Ian Marter, the actor who played Season 12 companion Harry Sullivan, were on break from filming, they were apparently pretty bored. That is, until one day Tom Baker brought up the idea of them writing a Doctor Who serial in their free time, with their intention being to have it produced for the show. Tom Baker had the original pitch idea for the serial, but he and Ian Marter fleshed it out to a brief outline, which they pitched to the Doctor Who writers, though they weren't really interested. Most of Season 13 had already been mapped out at this point, and script editor Robert Holmes was hard at work on the last couple serials for Season 12, as well as Season 13. So it was clear it couldn't be produced for the show, or at least not for Season 13. But then the idea came up that they could instead produce it as a movie. And then, Ian Marter's character Harry was written out of the show at the end of the Season 12 production block, meaning he could focus more time on actually writing the script, instead of just writing during his free time in filming. Somewhere along the way, likely sometime before Ian Marter left the show, director James Hill got involved with the project. Keep in mind, Tom Baker and Ian Marter weren't professional writers, or at least not yet. So James Hill came along and agreed to direct the movie and help write the script. The general agreement was that Baker and Marter would write the general outline and the dialogue, and Hill would assemble it all into a proper script. Eventually, they had a finished script for the movie. Not necessarily a final script, but one good enough to start shopping around. For a few years, they shopped it around to a few studios, though almost no one was interested. Apparently, Universal Studios, who would later go on to produce the 1996 TV movie, was interested for a short time, but the trio wanted to keep it a British production. There was also the issue of money. The film was estimated to cost around £500,000 to produce, which is nearly $5 million today, give or take. At one point, apparently Tom Baker used fans of the show to fund the movie, though he ended up giving it all back. By 1977, they apparently only had about half of the necessary budget. Nonetheless, they pushed on. A lot of people, including Tom Baker himself sometimes, dismissed this cancelled movie as a pipe dream that never even got close to being made, just a glimmer and a script. But actually, it got closer to being made than you probably think. Horror legend Vincent Price was apparently interested in playing the title villain Scratchman, and model Twiggy was attached to play the female companion once Elizabeth Sladen had left the show. In October of 1978, James Hill's production company, James Hill Productions, actually bought the film rights for Doctor Who from the BBC. However, their contract was a rather short one, stating that if they didn't start production on a Doctor movie by the end of 1979, the rights would revert back to the BBC. That gave them a short window of just over a year to get this off the ground. However, they continued to be faced with the issue of getting funded. By the middle of 1979, the project was considered dead because they clearly didn't have enough time to get funding for the movie, start casting, go into pre-production, and start production by the end of the year. And so that was the end of the movie, which remained as just its legacy to Doctor Who fans as the Doctor Who movie that Tom Baker tried to make. For years there was talk in the fan community about how they should resurrect the project as a Big Finish audio or something of that nature. Eventually, in 2019, James Goss teamed up with Tom Baker to adapt the original script into a novel, with it finally seeing the light of day in some way. So what was the plot of this movie? Well, you can obviously buy the book and find out there, but here's a little bit of information. So Scratchman, the title villain that Vincent Price may have played, was pretty much the devil. Yeah. Other villains included evil living scarecrows working for Scratchman, variations on the Cybermen called the Cyborgs, the mysterious evil Black Knight, and the Daleks who are summoned by Scratchman for the finale, which we'll get to. So the movie is about the Doctor, Sarah Jane, and Harry on the run from Scratchman, who's hunting them Craven style. Then we get some help from the Greek god Pan, and it all ends with a fight with the Daleks in a giant pinball machine. So pretty crazy stuff. What do you think? Have you read the Doctor Who Meets Scratchman book? What did you think? And even if you haven't, would you have liked for this movie to have been made? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for daily videos on the franchises you love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.